Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm going to go over some break-even word problems with you guys. I want you to watch this video today, and I'm going to have you try 5 problems on your own. We've done 2.5, maybe 3 classes now on word problems. So next class, you're going to have a small graded assignment on them. Just going to be like 3 to 4 word problems for you to solve. Okay, so that's up in our next class. So if you have any questions today on these word problems or last class's word problems, please reach out to me so that you can get some help before the graded assignment next class. So the first one says a fashion designer makes and sells hats. That's what we're talking about here. So I'm going to call X my number of hats. The material for each hat costs $5.50. The hats sell for $12.50. The designer spends $1,400 on advertising, so that's where she starts off losing that money or spending that money. How many hats must the designer sell to break even? So she's selling them for $12.50 times X, so $12.50 per hat. Then it costs her. So this side's what she's making. This side's what it's going to cost her. So this side, it's costing her $5.50 per hat, so 5.5x, and then we're adding the amount she's spending. That's the money she's in the hole with. So she spent $1,400. Now I'm going to go ahead and start to solve. I'm going to start by subtracting 5.5x so I can combine these like terms. That's going to be 7x equals 1,400. And then when I divide by 7 on both sides, I get x is 200. I should always write my sentence afterwards. So I'm going to say that the designer must sell 200 hats. Now, in order for my recording to load, I can only talk for about 11 minutes. If I go too far over that, it gets really bad and sometimes doesn't load. So I might go a little fast here, but you can pause it whenever you need to and slow it down on your own. A puzzle expert wrote a new Sudoku puzzle book. His initial costs are $864. Binding and packaging each book costs 80 cents. So 80 cents, $864 is his initial cost. The price of the book is $2. How many books does he need to break even? So let's call B books. Now, guys, remember when we talked 2 classes ago about breaking even? Breaking even means how much money or how many things they need to sell in order to break even, meaning start to make money. So once they start to sell 200, once they sell 200 hats, then they start to make money because they're that much money in the hole. It costs them $5.50 each hat to make it. They're in the hole $1,400, which means they have to make back that $1,400. Okay, so in this case, initial costs were $864, plus it cost them 0.8 per book to make it. Then the price of the book is $2, so 2B. Now I can start to solve. I'm going to subtract 0.8B on both sides. I'm left with 864 equals 1.2B. And then if I divide by 1.2 on both sides, I get that B equals 720. And you can obviously use a calculator here. So my answer would be that they need to sell 720 books. Okay. The next one, it says a carpenter makes and sells rocking chairs. So we're talking about C, and I'm going to call that chairs. The material for each chair costs $22.5 per chair. The chairs sell for $75 each. So they're selling for $75 each. If the carpenter spends $420 on advertising, so he's $420 in the hole. So it costs $22.5 per chair. He's $420 in the hole, meaning he's got to make back that money and setting it equal to how much they're selling the chairs for, $75 per chair. How many chairs must they sell to break even? So I'm going to subtract 22.5C. Get 420 equals 52.5C. And then I'm going to divide by 52.5. And I get that C is equal to 8. So they need to sell 8 shares to break even. Okay. Just 2 more problems I want to do here. Printing a newsletter costs $1.50 per copy plus $4.50 in printer's fees. So we're talking about copies here, so I'm going to use a C again. So it costs $1.5 per copy plus $4.50 as a startup printer fee. The copies are sold for $3 each, so 3C is what we are selling them for. So remember, one side of the equation is always the seller's costs, and then what are we selling them for? Okay. So on this side, I'm going to subtract 1.5C on both sides. I got 450 equals 1.5C. And then I divide by 1.5 on both sides. I don't have much room to show you that. And I get a C of 300. So they need to sell 300 copies to break even. The next one says a bicycle store costs $2,400 each month to operate. So we're talking about bikes here. So I'm going to do B for bikes. The store pays an average of $60 per bike. The average selling price of each bike is $120. So it's $60 per bike in what the store pays. Then they also have to pay $2,400 a month to operate. So that's what they're in the hole. The average selling price of a bike is $120 per bike. This is my equation. I'm going to subtract 60B. I'm left with 2,400 equals 60B. And then I'm going to divide by 60. And I get that B equals 40. So I need to sell 40 bikes to break even. All right. So if you guys have any questions on this, please reach out to me today. I hope you have a great Monday. And make sure you get your work done. You're doing the next page. You're doing numbers 6 through 10 and uploading your work. Don't forget to also check the homework answers from last class. All right. Have a great day.